Yeah, good morning, and it's time for the roundup of Saturday's Premier League action. 5 matches in all, and I'm going to get started with the early kickoff, which was at Villa Park. Aston Villa against Arsenal. Aston Villa above Arsenal in the table, and to be perfectly honest, they've looked pretty impressive. Yes, they've had a few setbacks, but no surprise that they're doing so well with a very powerful and talented front line. For Arsenal, well, they've had a good run, but they stutter too often for my liking. Team news, didn't catch too much of it, but Luiz, of course, not available because of his red card. And the same for Leno. Leno is replaced by Ryan in goal. And for Gabriel up for Luiz. Pepe in from the start, and his away record, recent record, has been quite positive. He's scored on the last 3 away games. Let's get to the action then, and it didn't take long for the Villa attack to get their strong men involved. A minute gone, and Traore took advantage of some really slack defensive work by Cedric, and he then quickly crossed the ball. Watkins got half a yard on the defensive line, and his scuff shot went in the corner. Ryan did get a touch to it, but he wasn't at fault really. The defence all at sea, 1-0 to Villa. I wrote 15 minutes no flow to the game, but then Arsenal started to get into it. Purposeful run by Lacazette, and he set up Saka, but Saka just couldn't get the ball under control, and Martinez dealt with it. 27 minutes, another piece of action involving Pepe, but this time his effort was well over the bar. 28 minutes, Martinez again tested, this time by a Xhaka free kick from 25 yards. So that was about it as we got to the break. Villa really relatively comfortable and a goal up. Into the second half then, and within a few minutes, Watkins had tested Ryan again, a header, and then two chances in fact. The second a header, but Ryan was good enough. Ryan, of course, used to be the Brighton goalkeeper. Then Arsenal started to dominate possession. Pepe, he had a shot wide, and then Bellerin, the Arsenal captain, he had a shot, but it was relatively easy for Martinez. And it was fair to say that Arsenal were dominating possession, but once they got into that final third, their really creative men weren't really coming up with the job. 63 minutes though, Pepe got a decent cross in, but Abayomi, I can't say his name, Abayomi, Alabayor, got it in the end. Well, how can I say it? Alabayor. He couldn't make his presence pay, and he looked a shadow really of the player that we know he's capable of. This personal leave that he had suggests that there's something really not good in his psyche at the moment. He didn't look really ready for a game of football. 68.5 chance for Pepe, testing Martinez, but Martinez's feet blocked the shot, and as I say, they were really in control of the possession, but on the break, Villa still looking purposeful, and Grealish on 78 minutes forced a good shot from Ryan, who pushed it away to safety. Willian came on, but he didn't seem to have much of an impact, and Arsenal really, they just didn't have the key to open the door. And we got to the final whistle, and Villa had hung on. I wouldn't say they were desperately struggling, They've done it with a reasonable degree of comfort, really. The defence, particularly Mings, outstanding. So final score at Villa Park then. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Next up, London Derby. Craven Cottage, Fulham at home to West Ham. West Ham, of course, a high and flying West Ham at the moment. Didn't see much of this in highlights, and it wasn't a particularly star-studded effort. On paper, one felt that West Ham would be far too good. Cresswell was putting in the crosses, and 1 on 11 minutes missed absolutely everyone. 34 minutes up the other end, a shot dragged wild from Lookman. Half time, goalless. Second half, not a lot better, although Fulham appeared to have the slight edge. Dakota Reed, is that the way you pronounce it? He got beyond the defender, but his volley was just over on 51 minutes. I can't remember what time it happened, but a significant event happened in the last quarter, and that involved Soucek, who got a red card. I'm not too sure about those circumstances, but Moyes was absolutely livid about it. Lookman should have got the opening goal on 75 on the edge of the box, but he curled his effort a yard wide, and 2 minutes later Cavallero had an opportunity that he blazed over. That was about the extent of the action. A very disappointing West Ham, really, and a missed opportunity for Fulham, it has to be said. But 1 point's not good enough for them, I'm afraid. But final score then at Craven Cottage, a dismal Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, West Ham United. Fulham 0. West Ham United 0. So next up then, Old Trafford, Manchester United at home to Everton. United second, Everton sixth. United got the better of Everton on the 2 previous occasions they'd met this season. But Everton are back to some good form. Olsen was in for the injured Pickford. Godfrey in the heart of defence, no Mina, the Colombian. For United, Pogba was in, Fred on the bench, as was Martial, with Cavani selected up front. 21st minute, great run by Greenwood, but he skewed his final effort. A couple of minutes later, though, United took the lead. Some good work by Rashford down the right, and he managed to get in a pinpoint cross. Cavani, what a predator this man is. And he arrived and headed it from a few yards past Olsen, 1-0 to United. And they looked good for it. They continued to dominate, although 40 minutes Lindelof lost the ball, and there was a half chance for Richarlison, but it came to nothing. But then on 44 minutes, United doubled the lead. Fernandes picked up the ball just outside the penalty box. I think he spotted Olsen slightly off his line, so he sort of clipped a chip, and he got it absolutely perfectly. It went over Olsen's head into the corner, and United went to the break 2-0. And so it was all looking rosy. Things turned round though. 48 minutes. The goal from Decore. This was following a great run to the byline by Lewin, and he got the ball across, and a pretty tame effort from De Gea, really. Just pushed it straight into the path of Decore, and he clipped it in from a few yards. Definite goalkeeper error, 2-1. We've heard that before, haven't we, about De Gea. I think it's about time that Henderson had a chance, to be perfectly honest. 3 minutes later, Everton had pulled it back to 2-2. This time, though, no fault for De Gea. It was an absolute gem of a shot from outside the box from James Rodriguez. And so 2-2. Decore again involved in laying it back to the Colombian. 69 minutes. and United were back in front. It was a really cute header from McTominay in the box following a Shaw free kick. He was surrounded by Everton players, but he seemed to be at least a half a foot above them, and his header was a perfect one, right in the corner, low down. Olsen really should have done better, but United were back in front. We got to the final minute of added time, minute 95, and United were definitely hanging on. And Dana put in a peach of a cross from a free kick, and there was a bit of a fumble really, and it came to Lewin. Keane had headed it on, and Lewin picked up the scraps, and he got ahead of the advancing De Gea and pushed it wide of him for the equaliser, 3-3. Just one thing to note, we commemorated and remembered the incident that happened 63 years ago, the Munich air disaster before the kick-off, and I certainly did make me wince a little bit having seen the film of Busby a year ago. But back to today's action. Final score in at Old Trafford: Manchester United 3, Everton 3. Okay, so Burnley at home to Brighton. These two teams been starting to edge clear of the bottom three, but it was still a pretty vital fixture for both of them. I didn't see much of this either, but a tremendous header from Dunk on 35 minutes in the corner put Brighton in front. It was a header low down and little chance for Pope. Second half, and an equaliser for Goodmanson for Burnley after a nice shot from McNeil was pushed away, but not far enough by Sanchez. So that was the equaliser, and that's how it finished. Burnley 1, Brighton 1. So the last of the 5 matches then, Newcastle at home to Southampton. We were all wondering how Southampton will react after that 9-0 drubbing. St Maximin was in for Fraser, and Newcastle also had Willock up front. He's on loan from Arsenal. For Southampton, they also had their new loan player on view. Minamino's come over from Liverpool. He was in for Armstrong. Roma was back for Saints. But they got off to a slow start, and on 15 minutes, St Maximus managed to get free of the fullback, and his perfect layoff to the penalty box area found Willock, who slotted home for his debut goal, 1-0 to the Magpies. And on 25 minutes, they doubled their lead. The Paraguayan Almiron, who had an exceptional game, hit a shot that had a wicked deflection off Bednarek. Now, you might be reminded that Bednarek got a red card at Manchester United, so why was he playing? Well, it got overturned, but he probably wished he hadn't been on the pitch, because now he was the assist to put Newcastle 2 up. 4 minutes later, though, the new signing Minamino, a neat left foot shot, hit the roof of the net to reduce the deficit to 2-1. That was the state of play at half time, but within 3 minutes of the restart, a really exceptional goal by Almiron, and he slot the ball in after he stole the ball away near the halfway line, and his shot was far too good for McCarthy. 3-1 for Newcastle. That was actually in added time in the first half. Sorry about that. Second half, Southampton showed some sort of composure, and we saw an absolutely exceptional goal from Ward-Prowse from a free kick 30 yards out. He's become an exceptional free kick specialist, and this was one for the top draw, curving over the bar, but curving over the wall and hitting the top corner. So back to 3-2. Hendrick then got sent off for a second yellow, and so Newcastle, it was back to the wall, but they managed to hang on, and Steve Bruce, understandably, was pretty pleased. Hasendola still not happy with that defence, although an improved performance. So final score then at St James's Park: Newcastle 3, Southampton 2. So that's the results from Saturday's matches. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow with Sunday's games, and of course there's the big one, Liverpool at home to Manchester City.